One of the most frequently asked questions in the world is, what is my purpose? What was I brought on earth to do? Why was I created? Why do I exist? What is my purpose? And there was this day I watched a video about purpose, and someone put a comment in there saying that my purpose in life is to find my purpose. And I was like, okay, well, kind of makes sense, because that's what people end up doing usually. And it can get so confusing because we have so much expectation of ourselves. We have a lot of expectations that we put on ourselves, expectations that other people have of us. If you stay to the end of this video, I'm going to show you how you're going to find your purpose. Yeah. And you're going to do it in 10 minutes. So make sure you stay to the end of this video. There was a point in my life where I wanted to be a newscaster. Like, I was really young. I wanted to be a newscaster. In fact, I remember having a competition in high school. It was a model reading competition and I won. Yeah, so I could have been a newscaster. Oh, and I wanted to be a journalist. I went to journalism school, actually. And when I started working, I realized, I can't do news, like everyday bad news. I just can't. I just can't. Oh, and there was this time, I was younger. I was way younger. There was this lady in my church. I really admired her, and she was a professor. So I wanted to be a professor. And then I wanted to be a singer. I wanted to be a guitarist. Then I wanted to be an author. And I found myself being an author. I wrote my first book in 2020. Then I delved into content marketing, and that's what I'm doing now. Oh, and at one point I wanted to be a pastor. So I guess a lot of things, but usually when you're growing up, the question that you're often asked is, what do you want to do? Or what do you want to become? Most of us miss the point. It's not just about what you want to do, but who you are becoming. And I'm not saying who in the sense of like a career. I'm saying who in the sense of like, what kind of human are you becoming? What kind of person are you becoming? As Christians, our main purpose is to be like Christ. Before we delve into the 10-minute way to find your purpose, let's dig into the basics. So what is purpose? Your purpose is the reason why you exist. Your purpose is the reason why you exist. It is the unique calling that God has placed on your life. It's more than your job or your career. Your purpose is more than your job or your career. It's more about the impact that you make on people. Purpose is closely connected to people. You would find that the people who are living in purpose usually are solving some kind of human problem. They are helping other people in some way or form, because it just can't be about you. Like, we're not meant to be super individualistic. Your purpose is definitely because of someone else, because of some people. So your purpose is usually closely linked with other people. And I heard this, like, God is so concerned about people. God is so concerned about us. So much so that the way he designed the human heartbeat, it sounds like people. Like, that was interesting to me. That's just by the way. Anyway, when an inventor creates something, they usually have a purpose for it. Like, they don't just create out of a vacuum. You don't just create out of a vacuum. If you're preparing a meal, you're preparing it because you're hungry, or someone is hungry, or it needs to be eaten, or even if it's not because of hunger, like you just want to prepare a meal because you want to learn or something. There's usually a reason why we do things. So when a manufacturer or an inventor produces something, they definitely have a reason why that thing was created. They have a purpose for that thing. They have a function for that thing to perform. And as humans, our purpose is established by, guess who? Our creator, God. So if you want to find your purpose outside of God, it's just not going to work, and you're going to end up not being satisfied because it's outside of God. I mean, you have to ask God for your purpose. Purpose is not something that is created. Like, you don't create your purpose, you discover it, because it's already been established by God inside of you, somewhere inside of you. He's built it into you. And so you don't create it out of a vacuum, you discover it, you find it. So it makes sense that someone says their purpose is to find their purpose, but your purpose is not to find your purpose. Your purpose is to actually be that person that God has made you to be. Genesis 1 verse 28, the Bible is very clear on the general purpose as humans, and I'm going to read it. It says, "And God blessed them, and God said to them, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over every living thing that moves on the earth." So our general purpose on earth as humans is to, number 1, be fruitful. Number 2, multiply. Number 3, have dominion. If you are not doing any of these 3 things, there's a problem somewhere. If you're not being fruitful, if you're not multiplying, if you are not having dominion, these are the 3 purposes, general purposes of every person. At least if you don't find your own unique purpose, this one, be fruitful, multiply, have dominion. Like, if you're doing these things, you are fine. Now let's get into our unique purpose. So we've talked about the general purpose of humans, which is to be fruitful, multiply, have dominion. How did I find my purpose in 10 minutes? I know, guys. I'm going to share it at the end of the video, so keep watching, please. Keep watching. And if you haven't subscribed yet, this is the time to subscribe. Please, I beg you. It doesn't cost you anything. No, you are not paying for it. You just have to hit the button. Like, hit the button right now. Hit it. Hit the button right now. Thank you so much. So how do you find your purpose? Okay, before we get into the 10 minutes way, number 1, ask God. I just said it. Ask God. He's the one who created you. He's the one who knows it. He knows your purpose. He knows what He created you for. He knows the reason why He brought you to this earth at this particular point in time. He could have created you. He could have caused you to come at any point in time. But why did He specifically cause you to be given birth to at this particular point in time? So you have to ask God. You have to have a relationship with Him to be able to ask Him. You have to know Him. Ask Him for wisdom and for clarity about your purpose. Number 2, look at your passions and your talent. Usually, God gives us, like, He speaks to us in so many ways, okay? Sometimes it's so obvious, especially like in our passions and our talents. We see that, oh, this person, like, right from a very young age, this person is good at speaking. This person is good at singing. This person is good at dancing. And guess what? Your purpose is usually tied to your passions and your talents, the natural, the God-given ones. Okay, it's usually tied to those things. So find out what you do best naturally, what you do naturally best at. The things that you do without effort, they are usually in line with your purpose. And that's because God is the one who gave it to you. He's built it inside of you. It's built inherently in you. The things that you love doing, your passions, your talents, the things you're passionate about, find those things out. Reflect on them. And then number 3, you have to examine your experiences in life. Sometimes God allows us to go through things because that is the path of our purpose. And your experience is going to be the story, or you're overcoming that experience. You're going through that experience. That process is what is going to impact someone else. We all go through experiences because there are others that will go through it in the future, and our overcoming it is what will help them overcome it too. So like I said in the beginning, it's not just about you. Okay, so the experiences that you go through in life, whether good or bad, they are usually in line with your purpose, and they are usually part of your purpose, part of who you are and who you're meant to become. Okay. Number 4, serve others. I don't know why I keep emphasizing this, but it's so important. Find ways to serve other people. That's a very, very easy way to find your purpose. Like once you start serving other people, whether it's in church, whether it's volunteering, whether it's giving, whether it's teaching, whether, I don't know, whatever way that you try to serve others, it's such an easy way to discover the things that you're actually passionate about. So find ways to serve others in your community, in your family, wherever you find yourself. Find ways to serve others. Number 5. Ask people you know well about what you're good at. So I know of some people who, when you ask them what they are good at, it's like they don't know. But then if you ask the people around them, those people will know. Their parents, their siblings, their friends, their close friends. Those people would usually know what they are good at. So ask the people around you what you're good at. Number 6, be patient but persistent. In the journey of finding your purpose, you have to understand that it's a process. It's a journey. Finding your purpose is actually a journey, and fulfilling it's all a journey. Life is a journey. So be patient, but be persistent. Make sure that you are actually working towards finding your purpose. So now let's get into the 10-minute method. I'm going to give you the questions I had to ask myself in order to figure out my purpose. So number 1, who are you? What is your identity? Who are you? And I'm talking about the right identity. Not by identifying yourself by your feelings or by your circumstances. No. Who are you, really? Who are you? Number 2, what do you do? In that aspect, I ask myself, what are the things that you feel the most qualified to do, whether naturally or learned? Okay, what can you do or easily teach people to do? What comes easy to you? Number 3, who do you do it for? Who does what you do help? Is this the right English? Yes. The things that you do, who does it help? And then number 4, what do those people need? What are their problems? What are their challenges? What are the areas that they need improvement in? And then number 5, how do they change or transform as a result of what you give to them? What are the results from that action that you take, or whatever you're doing, or whatever you're giving to them, whatever value you're offering to them? What are the results that will come out of it? Let me give you an example. The first question, who are you? I'm going to use myself as an example. Okay, who are you? I'm a born again believer. I'm a born again believer in Jesus Christ. Yes. Filled with the Holy Spirit, tongue speaking. That's my identity. Okay. I'm also an author. I write. Writing comes very easy to me. Number 2, what do I do? Yeah, I just said it. I write books, articles, I write content. Number 3, who do you do it for? I write for people who struggle with stagnation and addiction. That's because I've been through these. I've had experiences of these. And so I write for those people. And then number 4, what do those people need? They need systems on how to break their cycles and how to get free. Number 5, how do they change or transform? When they consume the stuff that I put out, they become more focused in life. They become addiction free, and then they live happier lives. So that's the result. So now I'm going to put this all together and give you my purpose statement. So I am a born again author who writes books for people who struggle with stagnation and addiction so that they can break free, become more focused, and live happier lives. That's a really simple way. So I'm going to give you assignments to do. There's going to be a workbook in the description, and I want you to write down the answers to these questions. They're going to have the questions that I just gave you. You're going to answer them specifically to you. Take some 30 minutes, take some 20 minutes. You can even take 10 minutes and just think about your life and all that you've been doing. Okay, and just sum them up and answer those questions. And then assignment number 2, please take a screenshot of those answers to the questions, the workbook. Take a screenshot of that and save them somewhere you can see. Okay, you can make it a screensaver on your phone or your laptop. Keep it a screenshot of that somewhere that you can see. You can put them in the comments as well. I would love to read your comments. I would love to see how you answer these questions and see how easy it is to know your purpose, to understand your purpose, and to be able to figure out what you're doing, because you're most likely already in line with them. If you're not in line with them, I would think that the first thing you would have to look at is your relationship with God. That's going to be very, very important, because when you find your place in God, when you are right with God, when you are truly in the right position with God, in the right relationship with God, your purpose comes to you more easily. Like it's so clearer. And I've seen the difference from the other side, and from when my relationship with God became way better and way stronger, and I know for a fact that I have a relationship with God. So that's one thing that you need to really consider if you are confused about your purpose. What is your relationship with God? Thank you so much for watching. This has been day 4. This has been day 4 of the 30 Days to Intentional Living series. If you haven't watched any of the previous videos, if you're new to this channel, please make sure you subscribe. Make sure you watch the previous videos so you get a better picture of everything that we've been discussing. Comment if you have any questions or thoughts about how to find your purpose, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.